मतलब वो उनकी मोटिव की वजह कहना चाहूँ उसमें कभी भी अगर
आज डिस्कस बनाया स्पीकर आपने
चलो वर्क फंडिंग तो फिर किसी ने मेरे
Can all of you hear me? All stations?
नहीं नहीं
So these are my presentation.
Can you please confirm if all of you? Is it our microphone? This for the language. Ji Vasu, can you hear us now? Karachi, Islamabad, can you hear us?
Yes sir, sure sir, please go ahead. Islamabad can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Islamabad. Karachi? I don't think Karachi is able to hear us. Can the participants online confirm if they can hear us? People messaging, so let me check what they're doing. All our participants online, if you can confirm they can hear us.
this one
Yeah. Great, thank you. Thank you very much. So I think Karachi will be able to join in a bit. We should not waste any more time. We should commence. It's just that our speaker from Karachi, Mubashir Dakia, has to be available online. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Got your answer?
That's all right.
Okay. So I'm
providing a support, but obviously जो proactiveness है वो आपकी तरफ से या उन members की तरफ से आने की जरूरत है जिसको activate करना चाहते हैं because इसमें हमारा कुछ
Okay. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. Sorry for a bit of disruption in the beginning. Let me formally welcome all of you to this webinar on entrepreneurship. We have already conducted about 3 webinars on this particular topic. And amount of interest already within our members. But however, going forward, we have decided to make this particular forum very, very active, and I'm happy that there were about 360 registrations for the session, and there are about 68 individuals who are currently listening. So I'm hoping that as we go along, members will be able to join us. The course of action that we're going to take from here onward is that we're going to have a series of 3 more webinars on the topic of entrepreneurship. So it is as important as that. So, and after these 3 sessions, we are going to aim towards practically putting in place, making sure that members put in place some small businesses, some startups, ideas discussed, shared, investors invited, they get to listen to your pitch, or maybe even some members, groups of members, sent to business competition ideas. Now, the purpose here is not to just participate in startup competitions, etc., like the ones DUMS was having a few days ago, and there was a 4.5-page ad in the newspaper that there were Karandas and DUMS jointly hosting a startup weekend. The purpose is not that. The purpose is that ACCA members should seriously consider becoming an entrepreneur. There are quite a few success stories that we have within us. So if I talk about Karachi, Mubashir Dagia is one. We've got a very young enterprising member, Harun Hayat, sitting with us. Very inspirational story, so I've especially requested him to come today and talk about his initiative. Can you hear us? Hello?
I'm from Islamabad office. I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Gee, just a bit of an issue. You can hear us. Okay, all right. Just give us a minute. Just give us a minute. Ahmed is trying to fix it. Alright, so while Ahmed is trying to fix the audio issue, I mean the video issue, let me continue about what I was trying to say. What our plan from today onwards is, and this is something that we aimed at doing last time as well, but this time since we have a reasonably good audience, we have a WhatsApp group of members in place already. The name of the group is Business Minds. And this is a group that is now going to become very, very active. So all the participants of today's webinar, we will put them in the WhatsApp group. This group is dedicated specifically for discussion on entrepreneurship. Nothing else. Right? No socialization, no networking, no politics, no halat-e-hazra. This is going to be entrepreneurship and only entrepreneurship. News from entrepreneurship around the world, local news around entrepreneurship, success stories, stories of good startups, etc. This is all that we would have on this group. Ideally, stories from our members, right? On their experiences, on their ideas, on some good business opportunities that may be around. So that is what we're going to discuss. From this particular session, all the people who are participating, and there are about 74 people online, and there are a few people sitting in different sessions in Karachi, Islamabad, Lahore, Multan, boardrooms. So all the participants of today's session will be put into the group. So you should end of the day, you should receive an invite from us to the WhatsApp group. So with that, I will like to hand over to Mr. Mubashir Dagia, who heads the entrepreneurship group in Pakistan. And interestingly, he has recently been to the ACCI UK office, and he's met with some council members from the UK, and he's spoken to them about how this initiative of entrepreneurship is being taken forward in the UK, and what can we learn from there and implement here. So it's got some excellent discussion that are taking place, and I'm sure when he shares it with you, it'll be a source of inspiration and motivation for all of you. So over to Mr. Mubashir Dagia. Mubashir Dagia, please, if you can step forward a bit in front of the camera and address everyone.
Yes. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to welcome all the participants. In fact, if we can be very specific, how many have online? At the moment?
Say again, Mubashir.
73, okay. So when we started this initiative, there were around 10. At the moment, we are almost, isn't it? That's very interesting, and we want to see that in 300s or 400s in numbers. Since the concept which has been introduced which has been initiated by the ACC Pakistan, I mean entrepreneurship. I'll touch a bit about the international perspective. Can you hear me, Hamza?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, right. So, this presentation. So this presentation, I mean, all the participants can see.
Yes, everyone can see the presentation.
I think there is an audio issue. Islamabad cannot hear you. I'm not aware of the Lahore. What is the situation here? Islamabad cannot hear you, although we can see you.
Even Lahore cannot hear Karachi. there an issue with the internet connectivity in Karachi?
वहाँ से वेट तो नहीं है ना स्टाफ से
Can you please turn on the presentation?
Karachi की presentation on करना Karachi. Presentation on Karachi. Before the staff के हैं.
Thumbs up, can you hear me?
Here you we are making you the presenter, we are giving you the control.
Acha, okay. Alright.
Alright, the questions in the dialogue may start. Run the presentation.
Can you please share the presentation?
Yes, sir. Can you share the screen? Just let me make sure. Please. Mubashir, आपने जब slide change करनी हो, आप just say out loud and we will change the slide for you. Can all of you see the presentation now?
Yes, we can see now. We are slide.
Great, thank you. Can you run the presentation?
Right. So I was talking about entrepreneurship. I mean, what's this all about? Entrepreneurs are is any person who actually, instead of going for the job or full-time employment, they basically go for any business and introduce the concept or a product or a way of doing things which can add value in someone's system. And that system or that concept or that product or that service basically being appreciated in the market and people start adopting it. Right? That's where the entrepreneurship comes in. Now, I would also like to share a bit about the figures, where Pakistan stands at the moment. I'm also associated with Karachi Chamber, and just few months back we went with a delegation to US, and in Washington we had various meetings with the administration there, right? And there is an economic affairs committee there, and the head of that economic affairs committee is Michael Delaney, right? At the moment, Pakistan's export of services is around 2.5 billion. Whereas the Indians are, I mean, whatever, they are sitting at $30 billion. Now, from that 2.5 billion, 1.7 billion is the coalition support fund. I mean, you can imagine where we are standing with actual services export, right? However, the potential we have, we are the third largest English-speaking country in the world and producing 1.5 million graduates annually, right? And the accountancy profession in Pakistan, I mean, we are obviously having international accounting standards, international auditing standards implemented with letter and spirit, and that's where the market comes in. We have the opportunity, we have the capacity and capability in place. Now, Michael Delaney, the finance the head of that department, he actually showed his willingness to support any initiative within Pakistan which may comes forward. I mean, that can be from the platform of ACCA or any other body, obviously, and they are willing to appreciate that, and they will be supporting us in that cause. Number two is the steps, the tips about the entrepreneurship. Now, can you change the slide?
Can you please change the slide?
Yes. Now, in order to be in entrepreneurship, in order to be in the entrepreneurship, there are following tips. I mean, I have personally felt it, and I've been in the business for almost 8 years. And when we started initially and introduced the services of detailed call, there were not that much clients who were willing to support the concept which actually introduced by myself back in 2008 and 2009 onwards. I was determined. I was of the view that the product is fine. It's just the market has to adopt it. So, and I switched various strategies. I mean, initially I was going towards the local clienteles, and then switched towards the multinationals, and then I added the professionals body. I mean, being an ACCM member gives you an opportunity. Number one, that's the main thing. I mean, you are a member of a global body of accountancy, and we have almost 175,000, 190,000 members around the world. At the moment, I mean, you're sitting here, just go to LinkedIn, search for the members in that country, search your relevant field, right? Get connected with them. Learn from them what services they are offering in their own country. Maybe that can be added in your country, in your industry. Maybe that you can get your certificate. Number one. Number two, learn from the failures of the entrepreneur. I mean, you must have seen the various ventures who are successful. Go for those who are actually failed, who actually failed in their ambitions, right? And if you see few of those, you may be able to find that there are some common factors which basically has led them to that result. And make sure that whatever you are embarking on, you actually love to embark on. Because in the journey of entrepreneurship, there will be multiple setbacks, obviously, and there will be technical and a lot of things you have to tackle upon. So, if, for example, if you are not into that much love with your ambition, right, you won't be able to solve the problems or the bumps which will come in your way, right? So go for those concepts, those services which you actually love it. Obviously, being an accountancy body's member and being an accountant, we are all rounder, right? It's just that we have to take some technical advices from various heads, obviously, and solve the problems. What kind of problems may come into your entrepreneurship journey? The problems of acceptance by the industry, right? And if you are passionate, you will be able to get the success. Lastly is get advice from those who has been successful, like mentorship. Go and meet your teacher, like your mentors, maybe your elders, maybe your relatives. Go and have a conversation with them and share the ideas with them. I remember back in 2008 when I started Data Recall, I discussed my initial concept with one of my teachers, and he spent almost an hour with me. And later he said that he will come at me at night at my home. And he called me at his home, at his residence at 10 o'clock. And we spent 2 hours discussing this concept. Right at the end, he really appreciated the idea and said that it will be a success. And within 6-7 years. At the moment, Data Recall is providing service to almost 45 concept, and actually stands. So go and connect yourself with your mentors. Harun Sahib is here, I am here, various other senior members, and obviously in your line, obviously if there are any mentors or any relatives whom you may discuss a concept you have raised, or if you have anything to discuss, just go for it. And read. Obviously, always remain relevant. That is also very important. If you are not Googling it, you are not reading any newspapers, you are not reading what's happening around the world, you will not be able to get success. Be relevant and get yourself updated. Next slide, answer. Now, coming to the main point. Just last week, 2 weeks back, I was in UK. And I had very fruitful discussion with the council members. Sir, can you hear me? Okay, sorry. So, just 2 weeks back, I was in London and had a very fruitful meeting with one council member. In fact, few of the council members, one of them was Steve, and he is associated with various ventures in the United Kingdom, and he supports the new ideas, the new concepts, the new way of doing things. And he is, I mean, his organization is named as Innovative Marketers View. That's where, I mean, if you can see this slide, and if you see by sector, there are so many sectors in where the innovation has been taking place. And there are at the moment 17,000 plus innovations available in the market in this particular website, which belongs to Steve. He's a council member. And there is a particular reason of showing this website. If you can just see, I mean, it's just alphabetical order wise, right? If you come to F, right, it's financial services. You can see that there are some innovations and there are new concepts which are being introduced in finance sector as well. Go and visit this website, see what's happening around the world. Now, this gentleman, the council member of ACCA, he has shown his willingness to support any initiative by ACCA Pakistan, and if we are able to gel together and introduce any new concept or new product or new services or new way of doing things which can add value, that person is here to support us. And you can see the background of this gentleman and this organization. I mean, they are funding millions of pounds, and at the moment 17,000 innovations are already there. Like, for example, I just give you a hint. Like, for example, there's an organization like Unilever, right? They want to see any new way of doing things in finance services. They can just select the financial service sector and see the new things, new concepts which are being introduced and which are being in the market, right? They can just pinpoint those individuals who are actually introducing those services, and obviously the journey then embarked on. So we have a great opportunity since we are a member of a global body. I mean, we have 190,000 members around the world. Get yourself, again say, get yourself connected. This is very important. Get yourself connected with the members around the world. You have LinkedIn available, right? Go and find the ACCA members from that country, or maybe you can identify sector-wise as well. Go and meet them, introduce yourself, learn ways of doing different things from them, right? That is where you will get success. I mean, this was all about myself. Over to you, Hamza.
Thank you very much, Mubashir. I will just like to reiterate what Mubashir was saying about the last slide. There was a bit of an audio issue in the port. Couldn't hear Mubashir very clearly, because I'll just for the sake of highlighting this last slide that Mubashir shown. There are three types of things that you can, three advantages or benefits that you can derive from this one website now. This is the portal being run by a council member whose name is Steve, based in the UK. There are about 17,000 business ideas, as Mubashir said. Mubashir, 17,000 you said?
Yeah.
17,000 new business ideas are on this website. So three advantages. Number one, if you have a good, unique business idea, this is a place for you to upload that idea. If you want to get ideas from somewhere, again a place to visit. Number three, if you think your idea is worthy, if you've done the feasibility, if you've done the analysis, right, this is the place from where you can probably expect some funding also. Okay? So, and I think Mubashir's conversation with the council member, this was the encouragement that he got for the entrepreneurs in Pakistan. That if there are some substantial, credible business ideas, they can definitely consider them for funding. Okay, so such opportunities exist. Now, I will like to open the forum for conversation one by one for about 5 minutes only. What do you think of this idea? But more than that, do you think there are some other international alignments that we need to do in order to facilitate members who have a good business idea to run in Pakistan? So this being one, do you have any other ideas around which international forums should we align ourselves with? We are not looking at incubators, right? ACCA will probably never become an angel investor itself, right? But ACCA wants to become the platform from where you can be connected with different organizations, portals, investors around the world, right, who can then facilitate startups via our members. So the floor is open for about 5 minutes. We're going to have a quick conversation. any feedback. Those who are present online can send their responses in the questions dialog box. So if you feel there are good international forums that we need to collaborate with, please send us the details. And the Business Minds group, the WhatsApp group in Business Minds, and this entrepreneurship group is going to seriously look at that and going to initiate conversations with them. Can you open up the questions box? Questions, yes.
Malik Mohammed Ikram from ACC Islamabad office. I have a question from Mr. Mubashir. So Mubashir, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, my question is, Mr. Mubashir said at the start of his presentation that to be an entrepreneur, one has to start a business instead of being in the job. My question is, can a person be an entrepreneur even while being in the job? Is it necessary to start a business to be an entrepreneur?
All right, I think there are some entrepreneurs sitting here. Why don't we take the question one by one? This is a very good question. Do you always have to give up on a job and start a business to become an entrepreneur? Can you run both side by side? And I think we gave you an answer. It can be run. Harun, do you think otherwise?
Yes, it can't be.
It cannot be run. All right. Harun, you want to say something more? Elaborate. Why can't we run a business and a job simultaneously?
मेरे ख्याल में जो है ना ये है कि जब अगर आप जॉब कर रहे होते हैं तो आपकी फाइनेंशियल नीड्स वगैरह सारी उससे जो है ना वो फुलफिल हो रही होती है। तो जो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप है और जो अपना बिजनेस स्टार्टअप है वो चलता ही तब है जब आपको पता होगा कि जब मेरा मंथ एंड आना है तो मुझे काफ़ी ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसेस मीट करने हैं और उन एक्सपेंसेस को मीट करने के लिए मुझे बिजनेस लेके आना और वो काम करना है। तो वो ये मेन है कि ना वो ड्राइविंग फोर्स होती है जो आपके बिजनेस को रन करती है। क्योंकि अगर आपको पैरेलल में साथ चल रहा हो तो फिर वो उस तरह का काम नहीं करता।
Any other ideas from there? I mean, Harun's viewpoint is that you have to have enough interest, enough time spent on the business, right? And only then it can flourish. If you have your attention diverted to your job, it will probably not serve the business, right? So you have to take a plunge. You have to, take the risk, jump in, and
लास्ट ईयर जब एक हमने मीटिंग की थी इधर एसीसी ऑफिस में एक छोटी सी मीटिंग थी तो उसके अंदर उन्होंने कहा था कि एंटरप्रेन्योर बनने के लिए जो फर्स्ट स्टेप है वो क्या है। तो मैंने उन्हें यही कहा था कि अपनी जॉब छोड़ दें उसके बाद ही फिर काम स्टार्ट हो।
Mubashir, over to you in Karachi. Do you want to say anything about this? I mean, the question, if I can repeat once again, do you have to give up your job to become an entrepreneur, or can you run both simultaneously?
हाँ नहीं बिल्कुल I mean job I mean it depends. I mean there are many avenues, right? Now this website which I have shared is just a first step. If you have any concept and any concept, any ways which can revolutionize or re-engineer the way the things are being done. I mean, you just have to use your brain. If you are employed, you are doing your job, you can use your brain easily, right? So think for any concepts which can actually turn around the things. Or for example, if there is any way of doing certain things, and if you have in mind that there is another way to doing these things, and that may be a cost-effective way, right? You can introduce it, you can discuss with your peers, you can discuss within the organization, you can discuss it with the ACCA, the Business Minds group, right? And if we are able to identify and we are able to gel together and introduce that service or that concept or that product with our council members, Steve, they will jump in. Then you will forget that job and everything. You will then start towards the journey of entrepreneurship, right? So first step is always plan, research, use your brain. Being an employee and in the employmentship, you can use these things easily.
I have some words to say in this regard, sir. Sir Harun, if you permit me. Sure. Well, in my opinion, and what I have learned so far in ACCA, I think we need to develop entrepreneurial attitude instead of creating some entrepreneur. So entrepreneurial attitude can come even while being in the job. If you are in the job and you are taking the ownership of the things, you are allowed and you have that much independence that you can take the ownership of your job, ownership of your work. That is how entrepreneurial attitude is created. And once this attitude is developed, you don't have to say someone that go for the business. He will automatically have some ideas to flourish even while being in the job, or he can go for the separate business. But if one doesn't have entrepreneurial attitude, the attitude is not developed, he cannot get success even if he starts his own business. So that's what I want to say.
Okay, thank you very much. I think there are opposing opinions, right? And what you said, sir, in the end was quite accurate, and that is that job or no job, the attitude towards your business has to be right. There are some opposing comments on the chat as well, so I would request Rizwan to just read out a few, just a couple, so that we know the perspective of online participants as well, very quickly.
There's this question from Hamza Hafiz. It's a question basically, it's not relevant to the talk being held right now. He's asking that job can be entered into financial markets like Pakistan Stock Exchange.
I think that's the most basic sort of, I mean, I would rather call it investment management, right, rather than a business, isn't it? So yeah, that's portfolio management. So alongside your job, you invest into certain stocks or mutual funds. That's what SCCP has been promoting as well. But that is probably the most that we've seen with people who are doing a job. And a similar comment, which is in capitals afterwards, is
Mr. Sarwat says that business and job can be run simultaneously. All their exceptions always exist. I know many people in my office who are doing both at the same time. To add to that, I also think that job and business can be run side by side. We can take example of Kareem, for instance. The founder of Kareem were working as consultants with McKinsey and Company in UAE. When they decided they have had the exposure required, as said by our speaker in Islamabad, they had had the exposure required and they have developed entrepreneurial insights in them while working for McKinsey. They just called quits and just started to work on the idea of Kareem wholeheartedly, and eventually we saw Kareem raising funds back in UAE, now even in Pakistan. So I think that we do need to be exposed to certain attitude and to a certain environment in order to develop entrepreneurial insights that can lead us to entrepreneurship 24/7. And as said by Mr. Haroon, I think that if you want to exponentially increase your business, you need to prioritize it and focus on it wholly, but only after getting exposure through a job or maybe through other entrepreneurial initiatives.
I think we can nicely move on to our next presentation from here. I'll very quickly introduce this last young man doing some wise conversation. Rizwan Mahmood is a colleague at ACCA. He's an affiliate, and his brother Faizan has been a success story as well. So his project, what was the name of the project? Capital Stake is right now, what is the situation right now? Has the project taken off successfully? Is it still at Plan 9? What was the deal with the PSX?
The startup was incubated, my brother's startup was incubated around 3 years back in Plan 9. It's an initiative by the Punjab government. They worked around 6 months through the guidance of other bureaucrats and other leaders in the incubation center. And after that, they were left on their own. They struggled for about a year and a half or two, and now they successfully signed 3 contracts with 3 broker houses, one in Lahore, Zafar Securities, and 2 in Karachi. And they've also recently signed a contract with Pakistan Stock Exchange to increase investor confidence in the Pakistan stock market. So my brother was enrolled in a job when he was conducting business, and yes, things were going slow, but they were going there nonetheless because he had been exposed to the entrepreneurial mindset through his leaders and bosses.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Both the brothers are an ACC affiliate. The elder one is ready for now becoming a member. The younger one is currently working learning the ropes. And with that, I mean, a good inspirational story. Again, aspirations were joining Big Four, audit, etc., but completely broke away and chose a line which was contradicting the conventional audit and accounts. We have another ACCA affiliate ready for membership with us. Yeah, Baba is an ACCA affiliate and a part of the entrepreneurship group. Once again, and he's working with PwC in Lahore. This young man walks into my office one day, had some excellent ideas around how can we help members have that mindset. I mean, we're talking about the mindset of an entrepreneur. Have that mindset. And I thought he could be a good addition to our group. And that's why he's here. Baba, over to you. He has a small presentation to run, so let's listen to him. Please stand here and talk in the camera. Questions for Baba?
Well, basically, my idea is about web-based accounting. As we are all are accountants, and the field of accountancy is growing day by day, and we are seeing different avenues. Like most of the businesses we are seeing are getting online. So similarly, we have had freelancing, and we had ERP systems. But this is something new which I came to know recently, which is web-based accounting. The basic. So, what is accounting? So, my presentation is all about basically the new technologies in finance and accounting that are and the new developments that are happening across the globe. So, I think this is something that some new businesses can get help from. It is basically a low-cost version of ERP systems. I'll go to the next slide. Basically, this is the agenda. I'll start with Mr. Harun give an introduction of me. Secondly, I'll explain what is web-based accounting, then its benefits, some of the providers, and the problems that we are facing with it. Next slide. Well, this is my brief introduction. I'm currently working at PwC. Most of my time has been spent in audit and advisory sections. So, basically, I would like to answer one thing that previously we were saying that you cannot do job with entrepreneurship. Well, I beg to differ. Because I think that, as Rizwan pointed out, that when you are in an organization, you get idea of different businesses, and you can manage things. Like if your boss tells that he needs to get this work done by say 8 o'clock, you'll try your best to do it. So same goes for your business. You have to make priorities. Next slide, please. Now, basically, what is web-based accounting? Like in the past, we have seen that companies usually keep their accountancy function within themselves, or a second stage was basically to outsource that function. Now there is third stage. The third stage is that they basically are using cloud computing for their accountancy purposes. They are not like startups these days, and most of the business they do not have funds for dedicated accounting softwares. And basically, accounting is just not about numbers related to profit and loss. You have to consider decision making as well. Like if you are not good with your numbers, you cannot take good decisions. So similarly, there are organizations that were basically startups, and they wanted to get accountancy softwares and ERP softwares in order to get information in a good place and make informed decisions. So basically, this concept of web-based accounting jumped in. The next slide, please. Basically, the idea is that you have to use the internet, and there is a portal. Like, for example, like you are using Facebook for your social needs. You are uploading your pictures, you are uploading videos. Similarly, the concept of web-based accounting is that you are posting your transactions and you are posting your business-related matters to a website that's basically a host, and they'll provide you with different modules of business, such as payables, receivables, sales. They'll be your, for example, if you go to a departmental store or a pharmaceutical company, like a pharmaceutical store rather, and you ask them that how much receivables do you have, how much payables do you have, they'll get confused and they'll say that they will be not clear with the data. But these websites or these ideas came up with a smart solution. They provided with a simple basic idea that was that upload your transactions on our website, we'll make accounts for you, we'll make cash flows, we'll provide you with the details of payables, receivables, and all that for a fraction of cost. And here are some of the benefits of using basically web-based accounting. Like I said, that most of the time businesses had to hire accountants, they used to outsource things, but this web-based accounting system, they have done a lot of things for you. For example, in past nobody knew how to make cash flows, balance sheets, it was quite difficult. But a layman or a simple businessman, not even an accountant, he'll go there, he'll upload his sales transactions, his purchase transactions, and his business will be online in sense of accounting. And here are some of the benefits. There will be cost savings, business continuity, business agility and focus, mobility. You can move across the globe and you can carry your business along the cloud. Automation would be there and collaboration would be there. And I have explained these benefits a bit more. If you would go to the next slide, please. Now, initially, for example, whenever you business thinks about hiring people, there are costs related with every transaction. With every step that you take, there are risks and rewards associated with it. But this concept of web-based accounting is quite unique. You have really, most of the websites are free. They have got no upfront cost, and some of them have got cost, but they are quite low. Secondly, the administrative costs are very low. As customer wide, then need to hire IT staff, accountants. They just need a technical basic level of accounting and internet. Secondly, there are shorter implementation time frames, low cost of multiple locations. Like a company can start data entry in a single place. You don't have to outsource this function. And all you need is one laptop or one computer, and from which you can manage your whole company. And you've got all those numbers on your table. Next slide. Now, most of the advantage of basically entrepreneurship, if I define entrepreneurship 10 years back and today, the major difference between is technology. So technology has basically reduced costs at the same time, and it has created new business opportunities. The very key advantage is that you can work from home. Like you don't need to go to a specific place, and it can also work for freelancers. Like they've got their office in their laptop. For example, if accountants or ACCS could be freelancers, they can upload accounts from by sitting at their home. They don't need to go to a dedicated office or need access to system to upload the transactions of their clients. And secondly, there are high-end databases. The problem that most of the small businesses are encountering these days are that they get low-quality softwares and there are system troubles. And all these are minimized by using web-based accounting because all your data is being stored on high-end computers and robust technology is being deployed by those firms, and you get access to world-class facilities at a fraction of cost. Furthermore, there is a further step in it that's called application add-ons. Like we all have add-ons, we are familiar with add-ons like we do them in Google Chrome and things like that. Basically, there is a thing called data analytics. It is a hot topic these days as companies are saying that they need data scientists. As data is to be converted into an insight. And there are different add-ons available in this application that will provide you with relevant business data. For example, they will provide you data about your stock control. They'll tell you that what is your ideal stock level, and they'll update you about currency. And you can also get customer relationship management from these websites. They'll tell you that what are your key suppliers, how often do you purchase from them, what is your purchase level, what is the optimum order level, what is your history. I mean, they'll make decision making smarter. And in a true sense, they are eliminating the job of management accountant, but at the same time, they are increasing the information for the management. So I think I'll email this slide to participants because it will cannot bring all points. So what will increase their vision. And secondly, some of the providers have made a list of them that certain online available portals on which you can go, and the basic thing is that all these can be tailored according to your business needs. For example, if you are a service sector, they've got a template for separate for service sector. If you are manufacturing, they've got separate templates for that. So these are different avenues and portals that are available, most of them are free, but some of them require very initial fee, minimum amounts like $100 per year, and things like that. And you can get access to basically world-class or standard softwares at a fraction of cost, and without even investing into servers, computers. Only you need to have an internet connection or a smart device. Next slide, please. Now, as a part of it, everything's come with some problems. There are certain problems, like we may face these problems more in Pakistan as compared to any other economy. For example, there is dial-up speed. Like we have connection issues, so business might have to face a problem that they're not getting enough dial-up speed, as these are high-end softwares and require basically good internet connections to upload your transactions quickly. Secondly, there is a issue of reliability is also related to speed. Furthermore, there is an issue of security. For example, most of the clients are or the businesses are very prone to like security issues. They do not want to share the data of their customers or their personal businesses online, because it's quite competitive these days, and if you lose security, you can lose business. So it's a very high priority thing. Secondly, there are viruses, because most of the people fear that their data might get hacked and their transactions might not be, transactional integrity might be lost and things like that. And so data leakage is also a point that we can face by these issues. So basically, this was a brief idea. I hope I introduced this idea well, and you can further go on to these websites and explore for yourself. I think it will help you in starting a business as well as managing a business. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Baba. Thanks a lot. Good ideas. I think the risks that you highlighted also are very pertinent. If there are any questions from Baba, you could ask them now, or you could type them in. Our colleague Rizwan is handling questions.
There is a question. There is a question from Sana Hafiz. She's asking about the confidentiality of company's data in web-based accounting.
That's what he's highlighted as a risk. And I think to some extent, Haroon's presentation will address such an issue. Yes?
Yes, basically I would like to answer this question. If you are thinking that how would your confidentiality be protected, there are certain certifications that these international websites require. And when you ask them, or there are basically FAQs, frequently asked questions, you can go to them and you can see the certification that they have obtained. And once you are satisfied with the level of certification that they have got, so that is basically the decision point. For example, you'll get dedicated security or antivirus software if you pay them a minimum fees. So this risk can be covered by getting yourself a good antivirus, and you'll have to pay for that. Thank you. I hope.
But I think at the same time, a matter of reliability also comes in. So if somebody is sharing their company data with you, they need to know if you're reliable, right? So the element of trust has to exist. So I think in such a situation, ACC offers you a solution. It's very simple. If you've read the rule book, there is an element, there is a key element of confidentiality in it. Right? So as long as an employer or a customer knows that you are associated with a global accounting body and you are following a code of ethics, right, which includes confidentiality, right, that will automatically build confidence and trust in your customers and clients. So I think
the point over here is that confidentiality of these softwares or the websites, are they keeping the data confidential or not?
True.
Yes. That is a concern in these websites.
And hence, which sort of nicely moves on to our next presenter, which is Haroon. A few days ago, we were talking about coming up with a business idea which involves putting ACC members together as a group, right, and developing a parallel of something like this. So I leave it to Haroon to discuss this, but to begin with, I think it will be very, very pertinent to know what process or what mindset have you gone through when you were to set up your business. How did you set up your business? By the way, Haroon at the moment is running a tax consultancy and an ERP consultancy, both at the same time. He's got business partners, so something that started from a backyard with probably him and another individual doing tax returns has now grown to a sizable office where he has employed about 8 to 10 ACC affiliates, always looking for more individuals to join, and about 8 to 10 software developers. So to look after his ERP. Harun, what did you go through? And some probably some of the members can pick up ideas from your experience.
Harun and Zia also has a question.
Sure, okay.
My name is Zia. I'm a fellow member of ACCA. I have a question that about the web-based accounting. How can we do the marketing? How can we get the clients? Because that is most important. The accounting skills we have, but the problem is that we don't know how to get the clients. Can anybody from there, for the person who is already into this business, can guide me or guide all participants how to do the marketing, how to get the clients, because that is the most important thing. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I think that's another concern. So, how to begin? How to start marketing yourself? Yeah. And I think after Harun's presentation, some of the questions will be addressed.
Well, to this question that how can you market this, basically this is the product that you have to educate your client on. Because there is something new, you have to educate them, for example, by comparing the cost. For example, if I say Walmart estimated an ERP system costs about say 1 million, and you can tell them that you can get the same services about like $100 a year. So I think that would be a better value proposition. And secondly, if you would give them a walkthrough of all the functions that are available on these websites, and basically like some of the service providers that I have mentioned in my slide, they include Oracle, PHP. They are all famous names. And basically, when you give your client the confidence that these are famous names, and your data and your business continuity would not be compromised. So I think it is something that can be sold to client.
Yes, that should be a question about it. So, yes, Karachi, you can ask your question.
Yes. Actually, my question was how to approach the clients, like cold calling, or how to get in connect with my prospective clients. That my question was.
Actually, I think that is more of a business thing, but we can, like for example, there are basically here a code of conduct like how can you market yourself. Everybody has a code of conduct regarding marketing your services. For example, like in the case of ACCA, basically the saying that they will market, for example, the firms that fall under the umbrella of ACCA, they will market themselves as a they will, and furthermore, you can use your personal contacts. For example, like I said that you have to once you work in an organization to develop relations with clients. Number one is that. Secondly, I would not suggest cold calling because for professional services like these, you cannot go for cold calling or SMS. Like you have to be professional. You can use webinars like these. You can send professional emails. You can make a proper proposal of your business idea, and there are certain websites on which you can upload your proposals and from which you can pick up clients.
I think the key question remains whether to do marketing first or whether to do sales. Yeah. So, should you become a salesperson or should you try to market yourself? What assistance can ACCA provide you? Can your network, ACCA network, be helpful in this? Of course, ACCA is the largest accounting body in terms of number of firms around the world. Right? So, can't that network be of any help? So I think these are ideas that one can continuously explore, and we look forward to such ideas from others also. Yes, question.
Just to add, I mean, the question which was read, how to market yourself, how to get clients, right? There are two banners here. In Karachi, I am sitting here. One on the right side and the other side on the left side. And it's written that stay connected with your global network. I mean, that's what ACCA is saying, right? There are two banners here in Karachi, and it says stay connected with your global network. So we have almost 200,000 members around the world. Stay connected with the members, right? You will always have a soft corner with ACCA members anywhere in the world. So stay connected. That's where you'll be able to market yourself. This is the first step. I mean, then avenues will obviously start opening up. That's personal experience, by the way.
to add something to it, like Harun said that we can use this ACC network, and Mubashir also seconded his idea. Well, the thing is that after this conference, we can have these minutes, and we can look up to ACC how can they help us in this regard. Like Harun has pointed out an excellent idea that we've got a member of international members, and we can use them, council members as well. They've got email addresses of each and every member. So if they circulate an email, so I think you will get huge business in this.
Yes, I think this is it's a little more complicated than this, but we can of course discuss it. But the good idea right now is, we've got a group of members together. We're going to form a WhatsApp group. We're going to continue with this conversation. One last question, after which we hand over to Harun. He's been scanning for quite long.
Are these web-based suitable for big businesses, or is it just for small?
I think it's small businesses.
It's focused, but you can obviously work on you need to buy.
Yes, Harun. So your story and your advice, business ideas.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं अभी 3-4 दिन पहले आया था यहाँ पे SCC ऑफिस में, तो मेरे पास एक आइडिया था जो लास्ट ईयर एक यहाँ पे वेबिनार हुआ था मेरे ख्याल में, उसमें कुछ डिस्कस हुआ था कि पाकिस्तान को जो है वो प्रेफर्ड आउटसोर्सिंग डेस्टिनेशन बनाया जाए। तो तभी मेरे जहन में एक आइडिया था, उसी दिन आया था, लेकिन वो फिर उसका मैं अपनी मसरूफियात में लगा और मैं खुद भी उसको परसू नहीं कर सका। तो मेरा ये दिल था कि मैं इस आइडिया को यहाँ पे थ्रो आउट करूँ आप लोगों के साथ, और उस पर देखा जाएगा कुछ हम उसको आगे लेके चल सकते हैं। तो बाकी थोड़ा सा मैं अपना इंट्रोडक्शन ये करवा दूं कि मैं एक्चुअली मैंने अपने आर्टिकल्स किए हैं वो टैक्सेशन फर्म से किए हैं। अभी जब हम इधर थोड़ी सी अकाउंटेंट्स की बात करते हैं, तो जब हम स्मॉल बिजनेस के पास जाते हैं या मीडियम साइज बिजनेसेस के पास जाते हैं, तो उनको अकाउंटेंट के अंदर एक टैक्स एडवाइजर भी चाहिए होता है, क्योंकि उनको अपने अकाउंट से ज़्यादा वो उनको पता होता है कि क्या चल रहा है। उनको ये होता है कि हम टैक्स के मामला से और इस तरह की चीज़ों से ज़्यादा जो है ना वो बचें। तो वो मैं भी जिस तरह बाकी इसी से मेंबर्स थे, मैं भी उन्हीं की तरह जो है वो ऑडिट में और ऑडिट में रहना चाहता था और अकाउंट्स वाली साइड में रहना चाहता था। लेकिन फिर मुझे एक दो लोगों ने, मैं जब उस फर्म में गया, यूसुफ इस्लाम मेरी फर्म थी, मैं वहाँ गया तो उन्होंने मुझे पहले टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट में जो है ना अपने पास मुझे हायर किया। तो उन्होंने कहा कि जब आप ऑडिट का सीजन आएगा तो आपको वहाँ शिफ्ट कर देंगे। तो वो तकरीबन फरवरी था, तो ऑडिट का सीजन अभी थोड़ा सा लेट था, तो मैंने वहाँ पे काम स्टार्ट किया। तो उसमें मुझे एक दो लोगों ने एडवाइस दी कि ऑडिट जो है वो पाकिस्तान में कितने लोगों की ज़रूरत है और उसके मुकाबले में जो टैक्सेशन है वो कितने लोगों की ज़रूरत है। तो जाहिर बात है टैक्सेशन बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों की ज़रूरत थी, तो मुझे वहाँ से आइडिया क्लिक हुआ कि वाकई उस चीज़ में जाना चाहिए जिस चीज़ की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है। तो तब मैंने फिर टैक्सेशन में लिया, फिर मुझे इंटरेस्टिंग भी लगी, तो मैं फिर उसी में ही अपने मैंने 2.5-3 साल जो है वो यूसुफ इस्लाम में उसी में। तो उससे मुझे बेनिफिट ये हुआ कि जब मैं वहाँ से मैंने छोड़ा तो मेरी निशात पावर में जो है ना वो जॉब, एक मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया था वहाँ पे, तो वहाँ पे अलहमदुलिल्लाह मैंने इंटरव्यू में टॉप किया, मतलब एक टेस्ट था उनका, वो उसमें मैंने टॉप किया। तो उन्होंने कहा जी कि आप, उन्होंने मेरे से पूछा कि आप क्या चाह रहे हैं। मैंने कहा मैं तो इधर ICW आर्टिकल्स के लिए आया हूँ, तो मैं जॉब का तो मेरा कोई वो सीन नहीं है। उन्होंने कहा जी वो तो निशात चुनिया में होते हैं, ये निशात पावर की ना AM अकाउंट्स की जॉब है। तो उस जगह पर फिर मेरे डिसीजन था कि निशात पावर की जॉब और मैं वो करूँ या मैं अपना बिजनेस स्टार्ट करूँ, मतलब अपनी फर्म ओपन करूँ। तो वहाँ पे पॉइंट ये था कि मुझे ये था कि अगर चलो मैं 1-2 साल अपनी ट्राई करता हूँ, अगर ना भी हो सका तो जॉब तो तभी अवेलेबल होगी सही, तो 1-2 साल मतलब ट्रायल बेसिस पे स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो उस वक्त मुझे कुछ लोगों ने ये मशवरा दिया था कि आप साथ पैरेलल में रखें। तो मैंने कहा एक दफ़ा जब जाना है तो फिर बंदा तमाम क्वेश्चन जला के जाए। तो उसमें फिर ये हुआ कि जो है मैंने अपनी फर्म स्टार्ट ली। अब मेरे पास टैक्सेशन का नॉलेज था, तो मैं जहाँ भी जाता था टैक्स की बात करता था तो उन्हें समझ आती है कि हमारे टैक्स के मैटर जो है ना वो अच्छे तरीके से डील हो जाए। तो वहाँ से मैंने अपना स्टार्ट लिया और टैक्सेशन वहाँ पे मेरा इसी तरह इरादा था कि मैं जब अपने टैक्स क्लाइंट्स के पास जाऊँगा तो मैं उनके लिए एक जो है वो सॉफ्टवेयर अपना खुद से डेवलप करवाऊँगा, अपने कुछ दोस्तों के साथ मिल के, जो उनको उसकी सर्विसेज दूँगा और जो है उसको जो है ना वो इवॉल्व करूँगा उस सॉफ्टवेयर को। तो वो टैक्सेशन भी थी और साथ फिर मुझे कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर क्लाइंट भी पॉइंट ऑफ सेल वगैरह और इसके क्लाइंट से मिलने लगे। तो फिर मैंने एक सॉफ्टवेयर ऑफ किया और उसको फिर काम करना शुरू किया। तो अब मेरे दोनों पैरेलल में दोनों काम थे, टैक्सेशन भी थी और ERP वाली साइड भी थी। तो मैं फिर जो है कुछ ऐसा तो 1.5 साल तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा मतलब मुश्किल में था कि वो उस तरह अर्निंग्स भी नहीं होती थी और एक्सपेंसेस वगैरह भी सारे मीट करने पड़ते थे। तो खैर वो हुआ। फिर उसके अंदर यह कि अब ERP जो है वो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में काफ़ी ज़्यादा टाइम ले लेती है। اور ٹیکسیشن سے کچھ ریونیو آ رہا تھا کہ جو وہ آسان کام تھا تھوڑا اس سے ریونیو آ جاتا. پھر یہ ہے کہ وہ ERP امپلیمنٹیشن سائڈ میں مجھے ٹیکنیکل ٹیم بھی چاہیے تھی, تو میں نے پھر ٹیکنیکل ٹیم اپنے ساتھ ہائر کی. وہ مجھے 1.5 سال اس میں بھی لگا کہ اچھے لوگ ساتھ ملیں جو ERP ٹیکنیکل سائڈ ساری ہینڈل کریں. تو پھر ایونچولی جب وہ ٹیکنیکل سائڈ میرے ساتھ آئی تو اس پوائنٹ کے اوپر مجھے جو ہے وہ الفتح سے کانٹریکٹ ملا. وہ یہ کانٹریکٹ تھا کہ ایک الفتح اسٹورز جو ہیں ان کا کانٹریکٹ یہ تھا کہ وہ ایک سسٹم اس طرح اصل میں ایک سیکشن آیا تھا نیا سیلز ٹیکس کا. اس میں یہ تھا کہ اس سیکشن میں جتنی بھی ریٹیلرز کی سیلز ٹیکس تھی وہ ساری کی ساری جو ہے نا مطلب نارمل ٹیکسیشن میں آ گیا تھا جو ریٹیلر تھا. تو اس میں یہ تھا کہ ان کے پاس اوور 1 لاکھ پروڈکٹس یعنی کہ آئٹمز ہیں اور 1 لاکھ آئٹمس کے اوپر مینولی ان پٹ سیلز ٹیکس اور آؤٹ پٹ سیلز ٹیکس جو ہے وہ کور کرنا بڑا مشکل تھا. تو ان کو ایک آٹومیٹڈ سسٹم چاہیے تھا. اب وہ بڑے بڑے سافٹ ویئر ہاؤسز کے پاس گئے تو انہوں نے کہا کہ ہمیں پہلے ٹیکسیشن سکھائیں اس کے بعد ہی ہم آپ کو سسٹم بنا سکتے ہیں. تو مجھے ایڈوانٹیج یہ ہوگا کہ میرے پاس ٹیکسیشن بھی کا نالج بھی تھا اور ساتھ وہ ERP بھی امپلیمنٹ کر رہے تھے. تو وہ اس پوائنٹ کے اوپر وہ ایک بڑا کانٹریکٹ مطلب بریک تھرو ہوا, وہ بڑا کانٹریکٹ ملا. اس کو پھر ہم نے کام کرنا اسٹارٹ کیا. تو پھر ہم نے ایونچولی جو سسٹم بنایا ہے وہ اس وقت پورے پاکستان میں ٹیکسیشن کا ویسا کوئی سسٹم نہیں ہے جس کے اندر ہم نے پورے پاکستان کی ٹیکسیشن ادھر ریلیٹڈ ٹو سیلز ٹیکس, انکم ٹیکس اور جو ہے کسٹمز ڈیوٹی وہ ہم نے جو ہے نا وہ آٹومیٹ کر دیا اور ہمارا وہی مین پروڈکٹ ہے جس کو ہم نے آگے لے کے چلنا ہے. تو یہ اس طریقے سے مطلب جو ہے میں پھر اس میں پھر یہ ہوا کہ میں ٹیکسیشن والی سائڈ کے اوپر زیادہ توجہ نہیں دے سکتا تھا. تو اس کی وجہ یہ کہ اگر آپ ٹیکس آفس جاتے ہیں تو آپ ایک چھوٹے سے کام بھی جائیں تو آپ کو پورا دن مطلب اس میں ضائع ہو جاتا ہے. اب وہ جو ٹیکسیشن اس میں اس سے یہ ہوتا ہے کہ آپ کا جو ERP کلائنٹ ہے وہ خراب ہو رہا ہوتا ہے. تو میں تو بڑا یعنی کہ اپنے ایکسپیرینس سے اس چیز کے اوپر پہنچا ہوں کہ آپ جاب اور وہ تو دو چیزیں, تو جاب اور اپنا بزنس ایک ساتھ رہا. اگر آپ اپنے بزنس کے اندر بھی دو مین چیزیں فوکس کریں تو وہ بھی نہیں صحیح طریقے سے مطلب ہینڈل ہو سکتی. تو پھر میں نے ٹیکسیشن کے لیے اپنے ساتھ جو ہے وہ پارٹنر رکھا, وہ لائر ہے اور اس کو ساتھ جتنے کلائنٹس تھے وہ ساتھ میں شیئر کیے اور وہ ٹیکسیشن کی ساری سائڈ وہ سنبھال رہا ہے اور میں جو ہوں وہ ٹوٹلی اب ERP پہ فوکس ہوں. تو اور وہ الحمدللہ کافی اچھا جا رہا ہے. ہماری 10-12 جو ہے وہ امپلیمنٹیشن ہو چکی ہیں, لائیو جا چکے ہیں. اس میں ہم نے بگ کارپوریٹ سے لے کے اور مطلب الفتح بھی تھا, پھر اس کے بعد کچھ ایک دو مینوفیکچرنگ بھی ہیں, پھر ریٹیلرز ہول سیلرز ان کے اوپر بھی کام کیا, پھر سروس انڈسٹری میں بھی کام کیا, پروجیکٹ مینجمنٹ سے ریلیٹڈ ماڈیولز, پھر کنسٹرکشن انڈسٹری کے اندر. تو اس طرح ہمارے پاس جو ہے نا اس کے اندر یہ ہے کہ پاکستان کی لوکلائزیشن, فار ایگزامپل ابھی ہم ویب بیسڈ جس طرح بات کر رہے ہیں اس میں ایک بہت بڑا ایشو یہ آئے گا کہ جب ہم پاکستان کی اسے یوز کریں گے تو بہت ساری چیزیں ایسی ہیں جو ہمیں ہمارے تک پریکٹیکل نہیں ہوں. ابھی تو جو لوگ یوز کر رہے ہیں وہ اس لیول پہ یوز کریں گے PhD جب ان کو 20 روپے کی DVD میں 60 روپے کی DVD میں مل جاتا ہے تب وہ اسے وہ یوز کر لیتے ہیں کہ چلو ٹھیک ہے کہ ہم اتنے کم پیسوں میں اگر کچھ کمپرومائز کرنا ہو تو وہ کر لیتے ہیں. لیکن جب وہ پیسوں کی بات آئے گی اور پھر پر اینم کی بات آئے گی تب وہ کہیں گے کہ ہمیں تو ہمارا کسٹمائز سولوشن جو ہے وہ چاہیے. تو اس میں پھر یہ ہے کہ پاکستان کی لوکلائزیشن کافی زیادہ ہے. جس طرح ابھی میں چھوٹی سی ایک بات بتاتا ہوں کہ ایک ریسنٹ سنیریو یہ ہے کہ پاکستان میں کیونکہ بینک ٹرانزیکشن پہ ٹیکس لگا ہے تو وہ 50,000 سے کم اگر ٹرانزیکشن ہو تو اس پہ 50,000 تک ٹیکس نہیں ہے. تو اب لوگ کیا کرتے ہیں کہ اگر انہیں کسی کی پیمنٹ کرنی تو روزانہ 50,000 نکلواتے ہیں اور اکاؤنٹ میں ڈپازٹ کروا دیتے ہیں. اب اس سے یہ ہوتا ہے کہ جو اکاؤنٹنٹس بیٹھے ہیں وہ کہتے ہیں یار ہمارے پاس 50,000 اتنی زیادہ ٹرانزیکشن آتی ہیں, وہ فون کر کہتے ہیں 50,000 ڈپازٹ کر دیں, ہمیں نہیں پتا کہ اس اینٹری کے اگینسٹ کون سے کسٹمر کا 50,000 ہے. تو اب یہ ایک لوکلائزیشن ہے, اس کو ڈیل کرنا کے لیے اس کو کس طریقے سے ڈیل کیا ہے. یہ کافی زیادہ ہے اس میں لوکلائزیشن ہے پاکستان کے حوالے سے. اس میں یہ تو ہو سکتا ہے کہ اپنا سسٹم ڈیولپ کیا جائے اور اس کو پھر پاکستان کے مطابق اس کو سارا چلایا جس میں ٹیکسیشن بھی ساری ڈیل ہو رہی ہو اور پاکستانی لوکلائزیشن بھی ہو. تو اس کو ویب بیسڈ اپنا بنا کے اور اپنے سرور پہ ڈپلوائے کر کے اس کو مارکیٹ کیا جا سکتا ہے, وہ مطلب بیٹر ہے. اب جو میرے پاس آئیڈیا ہے وہ یہ ہے کہ میں نے جو لاسٹ ٹائم جب ادھر سائڈ ڈسکشن ہوئی تھی نا تو اس میں یہ تھا کہ انہوں نے کہا تھا کہ آپ اور فری لانسنگ ویب سائٹس میں نا وہاں سے کام پکڑا جائے کیونکہ تبھی ہم پریفرڈ مطلب وہ بنیں گے, ڈیسٹینیشن بنیں گے فار آؤٹ سورسنگ آف اکاؤنٹنگ. تو اس میں میرے پاس یہ ہے, میں نے پھر جا کے تھوڑی سی ریسرچ کی تو مجھے یہ پتا چلا کہ پوری دنیا میں سے کوئی ایسی ویب سائٹ نہیں ہے جو صرف اور صرف اکاؤنٹنگ کے ورک کو آؤٹ سورس کرتی ہے. مطلب فار ایگزامپل جو ہے جس طرح اگر آپ IT کے پروجیکٹس میں آئیں تو اپ ورک تو ہے ہی ہے لیکن ساتھ ایسی ویب سائٹس ہیں جو صرف IT کے پروجیکٹس کو آؤٹ سورس کرتی ہیں, مطلب فری لانسنگ ویب سائٹس ہیں جہاں صرف IT کے پروجیکٹس ہیں. اچھا IT بھی ایک واسٹ فیلڈ ہے, اسی طرح میں یہ سمجھتا ہوں کہ ہماری جو اکاؤنٹنسی اور فائنانس ریلیٹڈ فیلڈ ہے یہ بھی واسٹ ہے. فار ایگزامپل اگر ہم اس میں ہیں تو ہم اس میں کافی زیادہ آڈٹ سے ریلیٹڈ سروسز, ٹیکسیشن کی سروسز ہیں, پھر جس طرح کی بات ہوئی بگ ڈیٹا کی سروسز ہیں وہ بھی اکاؤنٹنٹس اس کے اندر فال کرتی ہیں. پھر ERP سروسز ہیں, پھر مطلب اس طرح کی کافی سروسز ہیں جس طرح IT کے لوگ دیتے ہیں اس طرح اکاؤنٹنٹس بھی وہ سروسز دے سکتے ہیں. اور جس طرح IT کی ڈیمانڈ پوری دنیا میں ہے اس طریقے سے جو ہے وہ اکاؤنٹنسی کی ڈیمانڈ بھی پوری دنیا میں ہے. اب میں یہ کہتا ہوں کہ اکاؤنٹ جو IT والی سائڈ ہے وہ تو چلو انڈیا اس پہ چھایا ہوا ہے, وہ آؤٹ سورسنگ میں چھایا ہوا ہے. تو ہمارے پاس ابھی ایک ایسی آپشن اویلیبل ہے جس کے اندر ہم جو ہے وہ پاکستان کو مطلب ایک ایسا مطلب میرا آئیڈیا یہ ہے کہ ایک ایسا پورٹل بنایا جائے جس کے اندر ہم فری لانسر جو ہے وہ ہائر کریں. وہ فری لانسر صرف اور صرف ACCA ممبرز ہوں. اس کی 2 ریزنز ہیں. ایک تو یہ ہے کہ اس کے بدلے میں ہم ACCA سے کوئی سپورٹ لیں گے, اور دوسری سپورٹ ان ٹرمز آف مارکیٹنگ, اس طرح کی ساری چیزیں ہیں. تو ایک دوسری اس میں یہ ہے کہ ہمیں پوری دنیا سے ممبرز ملیں گے, اور تیسرا یہ کوالٹی آف ورک بھی ہماری اچھی ہو جائے گی. اور جو ہے کہ جو سیکورٹی مطلب جو سیکورٹی ہے ڈیٹا سیکورٹی کا جو ایشو ہے, اگر فار ایگزامپل ایک ACCA ممبر کچھ بھی کوئی غلط کام کرتا ہے اس ویب سائٹ کے اوپر یا کوئی ڈیٹا جو ہے وہ لیک کر دیتا ہے, تو ہمارے پاس یہ ہوگا کہ ہم اس کا ACCA ممبرشپ نمبر جو ہے وہ ACCA کو ٹرانسفر کریں, اس کی ممبرشپ وغیرہ کینسل کروائی جا سکتی ہے. تو آئیڈیا یہ ہے کہ ایک پلیٹ فارم ہو, اس کے اوپر سارے ACCA ممبرز جو ہیں وہ رجسٹرڈ ہوں, اس میں بڑا اسکروٹنی ہائی ہو, اور ہر بندہ اپنی اپنی اسکلس کے ساتھ آئے کہ میں فار ایگزامپل جو ہے وہ اکاؤنٹنگ کی میرے پاس بک کیپنگ کی اسکلس ہیں, ایک کہتا ہے کہ میرے پاس آڈٹ کیے ہیں, کوئی انٹرنل آڈٹ ہی کرتا ہے, کوئی بگ ڈیٹا ہی کرتا ہے, کوئی ERP ہی کرتا ہے. یہ سب کے سب رجسٹرڈ ہوں اور مطلب پراپر ایک اسکروٹنی کے ساتھ جو ہے لوگوں کو رجسٹر کیا جائے. اور تھرو ACCA جو ہے, اور اس کے علاوہ جتنے بھی ہمارا مارکیٹنگ کے وہ ہوں ٹولس, ہم پوری دنیا میں اپنا کو ایڈورٹائز کریں کہ ہم جو ہے نا وہ بیسٹ یعنی کہ آؤٹ سورسنگ کمپنی ہے فار اکاؤنٹنسی ورک اور فائنانس ریلیٹڈ ورک. تو اس کے اندر یہ ہے کہ جو لوگ ہیں وہ یعنی کہ جو بھی ممبرز ہیں وہ مل کے بھی انڈیویجلی بھی کام کر سکتے ہیں, اور ساتھ وہ مل کے اکاؤنٹنسی فرم بھی وہاں پہ اسٹارٹ کر سکتے ہیں کہ ہم 4 ممبرز مل کے اکاؤنٹنسی کی سروسز وغیرہ دے رہے ہیں. تو اس کے اندر میرا جو خیال ہے وہ یہ ہے کہ جو ورک ہے یعنی کہ آؤٹ سورس جو ورک ہے جو لوگ دیتے ہیں وہ کافی زیادہ میرے خیال اماؤنٹ اویلیبل ہے پوری آل اوور دا ورلڈ, ایون پاکستان میں بہت زیادہ اویلیبل ہے. اور اس کے اگینسٹ جو اچھا کوالٹی ورک دینے والے لوگ ہیں, کرنے والے لوگ ہیں, وہ کافی زیادہ کم ہیں. تو اس کی کافی زیادہ ضرورت بھی ہے, یعنی کہ پوری دنیا کو اس کی ضرورت بھی ہے, اور ہمارے پاس وہ سارا ریسورس اور ٹیلنٹ پول موجود ہے جس کے تھرو ہم مل کے جو ہے وہ ایک اس طرح کا پورٹل بنائیں. اس کے اندر ہر سیکٹر کا ایک مطلب آئیڈیا یہ ہے کہ ہر سیکٹر کا ایک جو ہے وہ ہیڈ بنا دیا جائے, اور وہ اس کو سارا دیکھ رہا ہو, اس کو مارکیٹ کر رہا ہو, اور یعنی کہ ہم اس پورٹل پہ کام کریں. اور اس میں یہ ہے کہ پھر آپ جاب کے ساتھ ساتھ جو ہے وہ اپنا پارٹ ٹائم کام, اور اگر کام بہت زیادہ ہو جائے تو ایون جاب کوئٹ کر کے بھی وہاں پہ کام کیا جا سکتا ہے. تو یہ ایک مطلب میرا آئیڈیا ہے.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Harun. I think some very basic but convincing ideas. Is there any questions or comments for Harun about his work, about his business proposal? We'll be more than happy to have those questions.
Ms. Madiha says that I appreciate this idea. This would be a great initiative for ACCA member, especially in Pakistan. And Mr. Muhammad Akram says hats off to this guy.
Thank you very much.
اس میں ایک چیز یہ بھول گیا کہ جس طرح فار ایگزامپل اب ٹیکسیشن ہے, تو اب مطلب ہر جگہ پہ ٹیکسیشن کے ڈفرینٹ رولز ہیں. تو ہمارے جو ممبرز ہیں صرف پاکستان سے رجسٹرڈ نہ ہوں, باقی جو کنٹریز ہیں جہاں پہ ACCA ممبرز اویلیبل ہیں, بلکہ ہر کنٹری میں تقریباً ہیں, تو وہ بھی رجسٹرڈ ہوں. اور اس سے یہ ہے کہ ہمیں جو لوکل کام کرنا ہے, فار ایگزامپل اگر ابھی ایک یو کے کی کمپنی ہے, یا چلے UK آپ چھوڑیں, اگر کسی اور ایسے کنٹری کے ٹیکسیشن ہے جو ہم پاکستان والوں کو نہیں آتا, تو ان کو وہ سروس وہاں پہ ملے گی, وہاں پہ ان کو لوکل. اور پھر دوسرا اس میں یہ ہے کہ انٹرنل کمیونیکیشن جتنے بھی ممبرز اس کے اوپر ہوں, اس کی انٹرنل ہی اتنی اچھی کمیونیکیشن ہو. تو فار ایگزامپل اگر مجھے اسپین میں کوئی کام آتا ہے اور مجھے وہاں پہ کسی یعنی کہ وہاں پہ ایز این آفس مطلب آفس جا کر مجھے کچھ چیزیں دیکھنی ہیں, تو میرا وہاں کا ممبر یوز ہو اور وہ وہاں پہ جائے اور وہاں جا کے سارے ڈاکومنٹس کریں گے, اور اس طرح کے جو کام ہے وہ وہاں پہ کیے جا سکتے ہیں. اور اس کے اندر ہم ساتھ جو ہے وہ انٹرنیز بھی یعنی کہ 2 کیٹیگریز ہوں, ایک تو ممبرز ہوں اور ایک انٹرنیز کی کیٹیگری ہو. تو ممبرز جو ہیں وہ تو کام لے رہے ہیں اور ساری ڈسکشن اور ساری چیزیں کر رہے ہیں. جو ACCA انٹرنیز ہیں وہ اویلیبل ہوں فار مطلب فار ایگزامپل اگر ایک کام آ جاتا ہے جس کے اندر ڈیٹا انٹری کا کام چاہتا ہے یا تھوڑا سا مطلب اس طرح لمبا کام ہے, تو وہ ہم ACCA ٹرینیز یوز کر سکتے ہیں. تو ان کی بھی PER وغیرہ سائن وہ بھی کی جا سکتی ہے, اور مطلب ان کو ایکسپیرینس بھی مل سکتا ہے, اور ایک اس طرح کولیبوریشن کی جا سکتی ہے. اس کے اندر یہ ہے کہ جب ہم بالکل پیور ACCA ہوں گے اس کے اندر, तो फिर डेफिनेटली एसीसी हमें मार्केट भी मतलब करेगा, पूरी दुनिया में मैगजीन जा रहा है और भी इनके काफ़ी ज़्यादा चैनल्स हैं, तो उनके थ्रू हम पूरी दुनिया में मार्केट भी हो सकते हैं। और फिर जब पूरी दुनिया में एसीसी मेंबर इसके साथ रजिस्टर्ड होंगे तो डेफिनेटली फिर काम भी जो है वो ज़्यादा मतलब हर कंट्री से काम भी आ सकता है। तो ये
Mr. Harun, there is a question from Ali Saab. He's asking, I am a member but I have no experience in text. How can I learn that?
go and join a text firm.
I think it's very simple. You have to get your hands dirty with work. Otherwise, there is no learning.
Boardroom Islamabad also has a question.
I have a question.
Yes, please go on.
Is there any input from debit credit web-based accounting?
Is that the Karachi office or Islamabad office?
The Islamabad office has posted this question on our chat window.
Alright. Can you read out the question, Basil?
Is there any provision of entering inputs from debit credit cards in web-based accounting?
Mr. Babar would be the right person to answer.
Well, that is a bit old question, and that was related to the web-based accounting.
Alright, okay. I think just as Baba comes back, we'll put up the question again. He's probably gone to the washroom. Any other comments, questions, ideas that you want to float?
I have a question from Mr. Harun that what is the procedure of registration in that network what you are talking about? Is there any sort of specific procedure, or is that direct registration or through some ACC offices? Can you please tell?
Well, you couldn't hear the last part of your question.
मैं basically registration जो है अगर है तो whether it's a direct sort of registration या ACC office के through ACC members को register करेंगे?
इसके लिए ये होगा कि जो पोर्टल पहले बनेगा उसके ऊपर एक कोई भी इंडिविजुअल आएगा, अगर अपना एसीसी नंबर उसमें एंटर करेगा, हम सिर्फ एसीसी इतनी ले लेंगे कि उसकी वेरिफिकेशन कर लेंगे कि वाकई ये मेंबर है या नहीं है। उसके अलावा बस एसीसी से हमारा कनेक्शन मतलब इस हवाले से कोई नहीं होगा। हम उसमें मतलब आईडी है कि अपना ही पोर्टल हो, प्राइवेट हो, लेकिन सिर्फ हो फॉर सोनली फॉर एसीसी मेंबर।
Does that answer your question?
I think it's still in the process, in the pipeline. It's not yet have been established, I think.
Yes. Yes. This will be established, yes. So,
yes, it is to be established. तो last time मेरे असल में ये आइडिया है कि टेक्निकल साइड मेरे पास टेक्निकल टीम पूरी अवेलेबल है। टेक्निकल साइड जो है वो पूरी कवर की जा सकती है, लेकिन वो मतलब प्रोवाइडेड ये है कि कितने लोग इसमें इंटरेस्टेड हैं, क्योंकि अकेला मैं इसको लेके नहीं चल सकूंगा अभी, क्योंकि मेरा अपना जो अभी बाकी सारा काम है वो भी है और पैरेलल में लेके चल सकूंगा। और उसके अंदर सारी टीम अगर साथ अवेलेबल होगी और वो हर जो है हर मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल अगर अकाउंटिंग की साइड है तो वो उसके लिए हेड हो, और मतलब मेरा आइडिया ये है। और जो है वाली साइड है, हर साइड पे कुछ लोग हों, कुछ एक टीम बने और वो उसको आगे लेके चले। तो जो टेक्निकल साइड है वो तो मैं कवर करवा सकता हूं, वो की जा सकती है कवर।
Best of luck.
thank you. That was there was a question for you, and Maan, can you repeat that question?
This question is not, it was asked by,
On the chat.
yes. No, sir, it's not on the chat. It was asked by a person from Islamabad. It's not on the chat. Or is it? Yes. The question
Is
is,
there any provision of entering inputs from debit card?
Mr. Babar, the question is there any provision of entering inputs from debit credit cards in web-based accounting?
No, there is currently there is no such provision, but you can apply add-ons for that. You need add-ons because currently there is no such provision in most of them, but there is a facility of add-ons, and you can add such add-ons by paying them a fee, and then you can use this facility.
Well, my question was totally related to the matter which was written initially in the presentation, that one can enter all his expenses while being on the run, while being on the go. For example, you are at the airport and you got some expenses, you have to enter those expenses into that accounting software. You can enter those expenses anywhere from any time, but can debit and credit cards be linked to that software so that whenever a transaction takes place, it is automatically recorded in that software. If there is no provision, then you can take it as a new idea to do that.
What I'm saying that there are add-ons. You can use this facility. There are certain add-ons that other softwares that you can link to these softwares. For example, the function of debit and credit card transactions. There will be add-ons that you can link to your account. For example, if you will open an account at Peachtree, you can link that add-on facility of using debit and credit cards, and that you can use to do all the transactions in real time.
I got my.
The accounting software, so
They can be linked, like for example, point of sales. You do shopping.
yes, but he's not. I think he's not talking about that. He's talking about his personal debit or credit cards.
These are business decisions.
Point of sale, तो obviously connected होते ही है उससे.
Right. I think so far so good. We have gone over by about half an hour. I think this was a useful session to the extent that we've brought down brains, sat down. This is just the beginning. This was the beginning, the first step that we've taken around throwing in business ideas. I think a follow-on session on this will be around brainstorming. We allow groups to sit down in Karachi, Islamabad, think business ideas, come up with a feasibility plan or an initial plan, right? Discuss those ideas, right? Pick on those ideas and sort of start working on those. Harun, his presentation was interesting, his idea was interesting. Again, if there are people who are willing to contact Harun, to be through the group, right? And maybe this idea, which is sort of in virtual space right now, is only an idea at the moment, can materialize going forward. So I think good time spent. Thank you very much, all of you. Mubashir, any closing remarks from your side?
I would just like to add, since we have around 70 plus online participants and probably 20 or so physical presence in different parts of ACCA, the WhatsApp group which we have launched, that's Business Minds, I request probably the members to share their mobile numbers with Harun Saab so that we can add you to that group, right? So we want to be very active in that group, and you can share your ideas, your concept, whatever you have in mind. Just share that in that group, right, Harun Saab?
Great, thank you very much. Yes, you can. I think while registering for the webinar, we did ask you to provide your cell numbers and other details. If you haven't done so, you can type in your name and cell number in the questions dialog box.
Yeah, please do so.
Your name and cell number in the questions dialog box. One is going to add you to the WhatsApp group, which is Business Minds.
Yes.
The entire conversation and the chat is being logged. The recording of this session will be available on Vimeo as well. So from the conversation, we'll be able to pick up all the cell numbers and put them in the group. For those who are physically present in offices, I'm sure you would have been asked to sign in a registration sheet where you're required to put in your contact numbers, and that's our source of information for all the members. So, thank you very much. I'm sure you'll be joined by the colleagues in respective offices for a nice session. Thank you very much, and I think the purpose of Evening Huddle is this kind of an activity of getting together. I'm sure you would have found it useful. Let's continue on from here, and till next time, probably in a couple of weeks' time, we will be gathering here again on taking this initiative further. Thank you very much. Take care, all of you.
Thank you, everyone. Naam or name and number.